So Rohit, like I said, he's right now not even here. He's traveling. He travels like 3 times a week, and he leaves on a Monday. He's back on Thursdays. Like I told you, the sleep deprivation takes a toll on your memory, and that sometimes gets to me because sometimes I have completely forgotten that I had to cook a meal. um, I feel like parenting, if you don't try to achieve to be the best parent in the world, it is really simple. If you just communicate what's the need of the hour to the kids.
Hello and welcome everyone. Today we have Dimpy Ganguly with us once again. Congratulations, Dimpy, on baby number 3. Tell us
Thank you.
honestly how you feeling. Have you are you able to get any me time yet?
Um, well, for honestly, it is very overwhelming to have 3 children, and especially because you're not used to. I mean, from when you go from 1 to 2, you divide the time between 2 children, and then you get very comfortable with giving the attention in a certain way to both the children. And then when you have a third person, and a newborn takes up almost all of your time, because it needs to cuddle, it needs holding, it needs to be held. I'm breastfeeding, so it's suddenly like all your time is being taken up by the baby, and the other 2 babies, they are suddenly wondering, where did mama go? So it takes a while. Like, I think I can finally say, after 3 months, I do have a routine in my life, and I think I can give equal amount of importance and time to all my 3 babies. So yeah, it's 24-hour job, because the first part of the day is taken over by my oldest, Rihanna. The second part of the day is by Bunny, and all night long is the baby. Yeah, so I'm okay. But thankfully, because I have older kids, older as in like Rihanna and Aryan, they're both they are of a certain age where they need to go to bed early and they wake up early. So because of that, my baby also sleeps early. So once I can put all of them to bed, and then it's freedom. Then it's my time. Yeah. So say beyond 8:30, I have some me time, and I watch trashy TV, and I just go to sleep by say 10:30 max. Yeah.
And how does being mom of 3 sound to you right now? What does it make you feel?
Honestly, I feel very good about myself. I feel like I have a big family, and when I look at my family, I'm like, wow, I have a big family, and it's great. I don't think anybody um, I have known before imagined me to be a mom of 3. So I think I like the admiration people have in their eyes when I tell them that I have 3 children. I think it's great, and I haven't actually met a lot of people who are like, maybe there are, but they are not like that to my face. To my face, they are all very encouraging. They're all very supportive. And what I've come to realize is, the more number of children that you have, you as a person, you become way more proactive, because you're forced to think out of your comfort zone. I can tell you, for my example, when I was a mom of 1, just Rihanna, and she was just growing up, and step by step she was learning to be independent, and the more she was becoming independent, the more I'm like, yeah, she can do that. And then I would just be laid back. I won't be really thinking out of the box, or active, being on my foot, and let's do this, let's do that. But when you have more children, you are actually forced to get out of the house because you cannot keep children at home all day long. You can keep one child at home, put on some TV maybe, and that's it. She's fine. Or maybe she's just sitting in one corner doing some painting or, some craft, something. And that's just, you can have your coffee or whatever, you can catch up with your friends. And that's different. When you have more child, even if one child is by herself or himself, there are other two who are demanding your attention. And that's when you realize, oh, you need to be out of the house. You can't be in the house. And then when you're out of the house, they're all just suddenly calm, And by out of the house, I don't mean malls, which is the case here. And I'm lucky that right now the weather in UAE is like fab, and I can really use the park and take them out and they can play in the nature. They need like big spaces to be active and to play, and they're much happier when they're outside. Parent, you're forced to be more energetic, even if that means like 4 or 5 coffees a day. You do that, but you're at least, end of the day when they're exhausted and they're sleeping on time, it feels good. It feels like you've achieved something at the end of the day. And so far things are like that in my house.
How many hours of sleep are you getting?
Oh, no, not much. Don't ask me that question. That's a very sensitive question. I don't count the hours. I'm like, I know it's not going to last very long. My baby will sleep through the night, and it's challenging because what happens is when you don't get that continuous 4 hours of sleep, that REM period, you start losing memory. And that, I feel, as a new mom, it gets very, very challenging because you can't remember. You can't remember what you came down to do. You've just forgotten, and you have to just that's the most challenging part, I feel, the memory loss, because you're not sleeping at a stretch. So that gets challenging, but I know it's not going to be long. And, when you just look at babies, they're like, it's this being who has no idea about this world, and he's just here, and all he's got is you. And if he's crying in the night, he's hungry, or he needs a cuddle, or he needs to be, whatever, settled back in. And you got to do it. And then when I think that, it may be 6 months, 8 months, a year, 2 years even, you have to put in that rigor. There are spices in your kitchen cabinet that are older than that, and you're keeping it like that. So it's not going to be lasting long. So you just have to go through this phase.
And how is Rohit doing as father of 3?
So Rohit, like I said, he's right now not even here. He's traveling. He travels like 3 times a week. He leaves on a Monday. He's back on Thursdays. I'm quite okay that way, at least I have set it up like I know this is my day and this is how it's going to be. But he's doing his best as a father, and he's doing his best as a provider, and his job is extremely taxing. So he's got to do. And sometimes because he was working from home all this while, and I know that if I have to take Rihanna out for her swimming lessons or ballet lessons or whatever, there is somebody at home. That sort of feels empty. But the upside is when he would be on calls or meetings or something, I don't have to keep the kids, shh, daddy's on a call, daddy's on a call, daddy's on a call. That's not happening. So, my kids can scream, shout, cry as much as they want right now. And I don't really have to stress about, okay, Rohit's getting disturbed. So
those are the pros, but also like having 3 kids, as you said, like when you are taking care of Rishan, at night and all, does it at times it gets challenging and you miss him and wish that he was here with
Honestly,
you?
I'm a breastfeeding mother. I don't know how a daddy can help in this situation. So for all 3 of my kids, even though he's helped, okay, should I burp him? Should I change him? I'm like, I am up anyways. So you staying up with me and two parents groggy in the morning and the older kids are like getting snapped at, that doesn't work. For me, if one parent is at least well rested, the other one can at least catch up on the nap in the morning, but at least one parent has to be well rested and calm and composed to handle the morning energy of the other children. So I never even demanded that from my husband, that you have to stay up all night or you have to look after the baby in the night, because there is no way he can breastfeed. And breastfeeding babies, they nurse to sleep. So at least the initial few months, that's how it is.
What has been the most challenging part so far, being a mom to three kids?
Like I told you, the sleep deprivation takes a toll on your memory, and that sometimes, gets to me, because, sometimes I have completely forgotten that I had to cook a meal. And then when I'm hungry, suddenly there's food, obviously there's food always for the children, but there's no food for me. And then I have to, order takeouts. So, things like that. And then, Rihanna's school has different days. Like today is the UAE National Flag Day. And then some other day was Breast Cancer Awareness Day. And, all these things that the schools have. And then they require the children to come in headgears and wear some colors and all of that. To be honest, I'm not on point. Most of the time I'm missing. I feel terrible. But that's where the upside of that is my daughter has become responsible. Now she's the one who remembers that, okay, I have to be in something pink today. I have to wear a headgear in red today. So she reminds me. Had it not been like this, probably she wouldn't have learned, or I would have just gone ahead and every day, done it. So that taught her independence. That taught her something about responsibility. Yeah.
And how's the equation between the three kids?
Oh, the first two are all the time fighting. They're all the time fighting. They are like... So Rihanna somehow thinks that Aryan is... because he is 2.5, right? So he's developed a mind of his own, and naturally he copies everything that the sister is doing. So naturally, when he's imitating the behavior of a 6-year-old, and the 6-year-old can feel that he's imitating her, she's not liking it. She's like, no, you're not a grown-up. And he's like, you are not a grown-up. And I'm like, Bunny, you're 2.5 years old. You don't need to talk like this. So yeah, these two are sort of not getting along at the moment. But they have their moments. They have their good moments. They have their extremely bad moments. But the older one and the youngest one, Rihanna cannot keep her hands off Rishan. So she is like, she wants to just all the time, she wants to even wake him up from sleep to cuddle with him and play with him and all that. And that doesn't work for me. And Bunny, sometimes he does get a little bit jealous of Rishan when I am trying to go to him and he's crying. So even if he's peacefully playing with his car and then he suddenly hears that Rishan's crying, and then he sees me get up from the chair and he goes, no, I want mama. Like he knows that I'm going to be going and maybe I'll get busy with Rishan for a while. And he does get jealous. But well, to be fair, it was him all this time, he was the little cute one. And suddenly there is this interloper hijacking mama. So
how are you making them develop this senses that he will need more care now, Rishan?
Well, there's no strategy to it, but I guess they just watch and learn, I feel like parenting, if you don't try to achieve to be the best parent in the world, it is really simple. If you just communicate what's the need of the hour to the kids, they learn a lot from that. But yeah, what you need to do is prepare them a little bit ahead of time. You've got to communicate, you talk to them, like if I'm saying the car with him, and then Rishan cries, and then he's like, no, I don't want you to go. And then I would tell him, okay, I will sit with you for 5 more minutes, and after that the baby will get hungry, so I will have to go and feed him. Then I'll feed him and put him down to bed, and then I'll come back and play with you. This whole, if he knows what's the plan, what's the bigger picture, how it's going to pan out, I've seen that he is much more accepting, rather than I just like go suddenly, okay, you wait, I'm coming, wait, I'm coming. He's like, how long do I wait? And children are not good at waiting. They don't know the whole picture, they don't know the whole plan. So I mean, that's how I do it. Not all the time, of course. It's not humanly possible to be so meticulous, but most of the time I try to do that. And then even when he comes along to pick up Rihanna, and then he actually asked, where are we going? I'm like, we're going to pick up Rihanna. After that swimming class, and then when the day she has swimming class, I tell him, yes, we're going to go to swimming class. And the day she doesn't, I'm like, no, we're not going to swimming class, we're going to come back home. No, the minute you tell them you're coming back home, no. I'm like, you'll come back home, but then maybe we can go to the pool later. So that's how you have to manage. But for sure, I do have help now. I mean, she is sort of floating, like sometimes the baby, sometimes Bunny. When I'm like, really, I need to take care of Rishan, she will take Bunny out for a walk, or practices bicycling and all that. So yeah, I do have a nanny, because it's humanly not possible for me to be in 3 places at the same time. And I don't want my children to be sad children, or I want them to be happy, and I want them to have a companion. And I have decided not to send Bunny to nursery this year. He will straight away go to school. I'm happy that way, because in nursery, for me, they would just go one day and then fall sick the rest of the week. And eventually that would be affecting the baby also. So I've just decided. And I just thought that when Rihanna went to school at 3.5, she was very happy to go. So I didn't want to force Bunny to go to school or nursery, thinking that maybe he will just be happy going to school next year. And he is, touch wood. We did an interview, we did a taster with Rihanna's school, and he was very happy to go. He didn't even look for me, and I think it was he looked very well adjusted. Women who are considering parenthood or motherhood, or considering more children, because yes, it's hard. Yes, nobody will tell you that it's easy, it's a breeze. But believe me when I'm telling you this, of late I'm only meeting mothers who have 3 kids, 4 kids, and the amount of things that they are managing to do, it is amazing, it's inspiring. And some of them are working full-time, and they have like 4 kids at home. I mean, really, this just tells me that kids, they don't really weigh you down. They give you inspiration to do more, to do better. And I mean, really, I think they're just blessings that are waiting for you to, embrace. And once you do that, your life's not going to be the same, and it's only going to get better, as long as you take it in the right spirit. That's what it is. Yes, you might not be able to go partying. Yes, you might not be able to go partying, or you might not always manage that date with your partner or husband. But trust me, it's all worth it.
But on this note, I also want to ask that there are many moms, like celeb moms, they are doing vlogging, like chronicling their journey and all of that, doing promotions, taking up like personal projects, like that makes them feel closer. Do you have any such thing?
You mean like a career?
Yeah.
You mean like a,
Yeah.
See, honestly, I'm just far from India. If I was in India, probably I would have continued with my career. But my career is in India, but my family is in Dubai. So that's a big challenge for me. And I mean, I am willing to push myself, but I don't know how much I can push myself to get into like a corporate role or something. That's like really pushing myself. Um, but I don't know. Maybe once my children are older, maybe I will think about something that I can start on my own, like a mompreneur or, something of that sort, or, even with do something on social media. But for now, for sure, yeah, I mean, I would love to chronicle my journeys, and I do get a lot of requests. I do have a lot of people asking me about my journey, about how I'm managing things. I would love to reply, but then, there comes a little one, Mama, can you play with me? Or there comes a little older one, Mama, can we do some maths? Or can you help me in this spelling? Or, and I feel really bad to tell them that, no, wait, I have to do this thing first. I don't know whether that's spoiling my children, but for me, I mean, I feel really bad. I received my mom's full attention. She was a stay-at-home mom, so I received her full attention. I received her anytime I needed her, emotionally, physically, anytime. Sometimes a little bit too much. Okay, Mama, I need some privacy. No, you're not getting privacy. So, but I thought that was a good thing. Looking back, I'm still very, very close to my mom, and I would like to have that with my children.
So are there any plans
So,
for the parents to fly down, like to celebrate the
my
Onprashon
mom,
also of Rishan?
yeah, my mom just left. She left last week, 2 weeks ago, I think. But I really hope I can visit Calcutta in December, but I'm gonna see how everybody's sleeping, because I don't want to go there when I'm still struggling with the sleep, and then it's just hard. I will not be able to enjoy my vacation. It will not be a vacation. It'll be me just tired and sleepy. And then when you have your house, you know where your things are, where your children's things are. And with one child, you can make that adjustment. But with 3 children, them not having any, their space or their things, or, the 10,000 baby gadgets that I have, I can't take everything with me, right? So I'll see how it goes, but I really hope I can make it.
So you're planning to celebrate the Onprashon in Kolkata? Is that the plan?
We'll see. If not Calcutta, somebody will come down here, and then we'll have a little thing like we had for Bunny, because it was in COVID.
Yeah.
So we came for Bunny. Only Rihanna had this grand Onprashon. And then the very next day, she was dealing with fever, because so much of exposure to different kinds of people. And that time, because it was pre-COVID, nobody was careful, right? That everybody was holding the baby coming, and and the very next day, I remember she came down with high temperatures and everything. So I'm a little bit worried about all that, really, to have like a big Onprashon. And honestly, we living in Dubai, we are exposed to a different environment than that of India. So anyways, that's an adjustment process. Mostly our parents, when they come here, they fall sick. And again, when they go there, they fall sick. So that tells me that our bodies, they need the time. Now, we as healthy young adults, we can cope with it. But young children and older adults, they need that 1 week time to sort of get acclimatized. So we'll see.
Well, thank you so much, Dimpy.